y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today's gonna be another book haul. And like keeps happening recently for some reason. I just got out of the shower and decided to film. Just washed my hair. Another book haul. A lot of these I got during that Amazon sale I mentioned in another video. They had buy one, get one 50% off on so many titles. And I'll tell you which ones I got in the sale. But first I'll start with books that were sent to me. First, the author Jamar J. Perry did a giveaway on his Instagram, and I won an arc of Cameron Battle and the Escape Trials. And this is the second in the series. I have book one that I bought myself. And this second one comes out February 28th. Thank you for hosting such a great giveaway and for sending me and for signing it. I'm so excited. Cannot wait to read the first one and then dive directly into this one. And then the author had sent me book 7 in the Stuck in Time series. This is Stuck Between Two Lives, Dave Johnson. And I didn't know he was sending it already, so I was so excited when it showed up. That beautiful cover. And this title is a little bit different than the other 6, so I'm very intrigued and can't wait to dive back in with these siblings. And then Heidi Grant reached out and asked if they could send me the 3rd book in the Jane Doe Chronicles by Jeremy Lachlan. And I had the first 2 books that I bought myself, and so I said yes. And I read the first book and just had such a great time with it. And wasn't a problem. And then the second book, I'm 200 and some pages in now. And all of a sudden, Jane, she didn't say it at all in the first book. And the second book is immediately following the first book. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just started loving saying the Lord's name in vain. She's probably said it 20 times. So even though I'm loving the story and everything about it, I won't be, I only give a star on Goodreads anyway. My review is my rating, like I usually talk about. I won't be giving it a star, and I won't, recommend it. I might say what I liked about it as far as the story goes, but I won't recommend it just because of how often it's in there. And it's so disappointing. I think it's so unnecessary. She just turned 14 or something, so it's upper middle grade, but still, it's just not necessary. And sometimes, they'll be about to say son of a and a cuss word, but the author cuts them off like they get interrupted. You can't say that. But you can say the Lord's name in vain 20 times. Just don't understand. So when I saw on page 22, it had already, or 24, it had already been said 4 times. I messaged them because it was coming from Australia, and I know how expensive it is for that. And I said, if it's going to be said in that one, when a book has that in it, I don't give it a star rating on Goodreads, and I don't recommend it. So I don't want you to waste your time and resources, since I won't be able to if it is in there. And they didn't respond right away, but then they did yesterday, and said that it is, unfortunately, and they completely understand, and they'll try to keep that in mind from now on with me. Hopefully that doesn't mean it is a recurring thing. So, but thank you so much, Heidi Grant, for even thinking of me and sending me this all the way from Australia. It's a finished copy. That's another thing. The first 2 you could get in hardback. This one's only in paperback, so I don't know why, but still beautiful. And I have no idea how this is coming into play because this book doesn't have anything to do with. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens with that. But like I said, first book, recommend. Second book, I can't because of how much it's already been said in there. And they did say it's in this, so. And then Bloomsbury YA actually reached out and asked if they could send me an art copy of When Sea Becomes Sky by Gillian McDunn. And it is a middle grade book, and this comes out February 28th, and I said yes because it's a highly anticipated release. And it was in my February anticipated releases video, so I won't read the synopsis again. But I'm so excited. I have so many books by this author. I really need to read them. This just sounds like an amazing summer story, siblings, and a deep meaning. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Bloomsbury. And then a surprise from Penguin Random House Graphic, Random House Kids. They had sent me an arc of the Moth graphic novel by Kay O'Neill, and then I didn't expect to get a finished copy too. That was so nice of them. So this showed up, I don't even remember if it was yesterday, the day before that now. But they sent a beautiful hardback finished copy. And I really had such a great time with this, and the art is just beautiful. And not only that, look, I love purple, especially in this dusty, grayish purple, because gray and purple I think go well together anyway. So this is just stunning. This naked hardback. And then the spine. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you so much. I did not expect that, and that was just made me so happy. Thank you. This comes out March 7th. That's all the books that were sent to me. And then next, I got 2 beautiful finished copies of books that I had been sent arcs of, and these were on the sale. So I got Out of Range by Heidi Lang, and the author had sent me an arc of this a while ago. But this was amazing. I don't know if I said, but out of range, and the beautiful finished copy. It is just so stunning. And I was actually reading this at the time my pup passed, so it has been a while. So I'll read the synopsis for this one. Sisters Abby, Emma, and Ollie have gone from being best friends forever to mortal enemies. Thanks to their months-long feud, they are sent to Camp Unplugged, a girls' camp deep in the heart of the Idaho mountains, where they will go back to nature, which means no cell phones, no internet, and no communicating with the outside world for 2 whole weeks. During that time, they had better learn to get along again, the parents tell them, or else. The sisters don't see any way they can ever forgive each other for what they've done, no matter how many hikes and campfire songs they're forced to participate in. But then disaster strikes, and they find themselves lost and alone in the wilderness. They will have to outrun a raging wildfire, make it through a turbulent river, and escape bears, mountain lions, and ticks. They don't have training or food or enough supplies. All they have is each other, and maybe, just maybe, it will be enough to survive. If you want to read my review, you can just search Bill's Middle Grade, Goodreads, and then the title and the author, and it should come up. But I really love this book. I'm so happy to have a finished copy. And this one was a recent book called, I don't even know if I've posted the review yet. I know I've done the review. Like I said, I can't post 80 some reviews online in one day. So even though I've caught up on the reviews, like I'm posting them slowly, so I'm not going to read the synopsis of this again. But I got a beautiful finished copy of the first in the Plotting the Stars series, Moongarden by Michelle A. Berry. It's just so beautiful. And I cannot wait for the next book. I love this so much. It's definitely a new all-time favorite. So that's all for that. So then I'll get the go to the sequels I've got. And there's quite a few. And they are... And they are all of series I haven't started yet. But all of them except for these 2. All the hardbacks. I usually, if I haven't started them yet, I wait till sales like this or until they go down because hardbacks are more expensive. So when I know it's a series I'm excited about and I know I'm probably going to love just because it has to be pretty bad for me not like a book. So I wait for a sale like this or for it to go down a lot. So that's why there's so many hardback sequels of series I haven't read in this one. I'll start with the 2 UK ones though. The next in the Muddlemore Mystery series by Ruth Quayle, The Chicken Farm Fiasco. Just sound like such fun mystery. They are like a little younger, but they're not too they're a little bit over 200 pages, which is what I like. And they're full of illustrations. And then the detective style mystery, just so excited. And then Libby and the Highland Heist by Joe Clarke. This is the 2nd book in this series. The same thing. This is like 240 pages. The font's not as big as some of the early ones, but in full illustrations. These just sound amazing. Now this looks like a perfect one to read, so maybe I'll pick up the first book. There's so many books to read. Okay, and then for the US sequels I got, just like the 2nd book, I picked up during a sale, the 3rd book in Skyborn by Jessica Curry, Phoenix Flight. So unless there's going to be more, I now own this whole trilogy, unless she's going to make it longer, I don't know. And this is just beautiful. And then I believe the 6th book, especially in a long series, put the number on the side. And I think a 7th book comes out later this year too. So, The Vanderbeekers on the Road by Karina Young-Glasser. So beautiful. So excited to binge this series, but I keep seeing new books come out, so I want to just keep waiting, and maybe I can just binge them all at once. And then the 4th in the City Spy series, City of the Dead by James Conte. This is the 4th. I don't know if there'll be more, but again, and these just sound like everything I'm gonna love, and so many people love them, so I'm very excited. This is like, it says it's a companion novel to Tell You the Truth, by Beth Rabel, so I'll probably read that one. And then this one looks like a great summer read, and this is Lies I Tell Myself. So beautiful. Yep, spend the summer before 5th grade, so yay. And the 2nd and the Great Peach Experiment series is Peach Pit by Erin Seidenberg Downing. The 3rd book comes out in April, I believe, or at least sometime soon. I think the 1st book is during the summer, and now this one they're back home. They just sound amazing, and I'm so excited. See, I always love it. So many books by this author, and I just want to read them all. It's gonna be a journey because I have so many of his books, but this is another series that sounds amazing, and the third one comes out very, very soon. But Once Upon Another Times, I think this is a companion series to another of his series I have by James Riley. This is Tall Tales, the second, and the third one comes out soon. So, cannot wait to read his book. And then the second in the Finally Something Dangerous series, The One and Onlys and the Case of the Robot Crow by Doug Cornett. These just sound like such fun mysteries. The third in the Wilder Lore series, The Everstorms by Amanda Foote. These are always so beautiful, and they just sound like I'm gonna love them. I don't know if this is gonna be the final book or not, but I'm so excited to read these. And then lastly for sequels, Tangled Up in Nonsense by Meryl Wyatt. I don't know what the name of the series is. The first book was Tangled Up in Luck, but these covers. And she's got a magnifying glass, and she looks like the little female Sherlock Holmes. I'm very excited. Cannot wait to read these. Alright, that's it for sequels. First, I'm just going to do books that weren't part of the sale, and then I'll go into books that I got in the Amazon sale. This cover just drew my attention. The Book of the Maidservant by Rebecca Barnhouse. Johanna is a serving girl to Dame Marjorie Kemp, a renowned medieval holy woman. Dame Marjorie feels the suffering the Virgin Mary felt for her son, but cares little for the misery she sees every day. When she announces that Johanna will accompany her on a pilgrimage to Rome, the suffering truly begins. After working all day, Johanna must fetch water, wash clothes, and cook for the entire party of pilgrims. Then arguing breaks out between Dame Marjorie and the other travelers, and Johanna is caught in the middle. As the fighting escalates, Dame Marjorie turns her back on the whole group, including Johanna. Abandoned in a foreign land, the young maidservant must find her own way in Rome. Very intrigued by that. And then I got this used from like thrift books, The Golden Hour by Maya Williams. Cover just got my attention. Rowan Popplewell and his sister Nina have been sent to stay in tiny Owatonna, Maine, with two strange aunts they hardly know. Rowan expects a month of boredom until he notices weird things going on in town, especially at the old abandoned hotel in the woods. His Aunt Agatha warns the children not to go near it. They ignore her advice, and the next day, Nina disappears. Now Rowan, who has made it through every level of every video game he's ever played, finds himself in a game with rules he doesn't know against the toughest opponent of all time. And Harville by Justin Davies. Welcome to Harville. If you've arrived, you've survived. In the murky, misty seaside town of Harville, something smells fishy, and it isn't the seafood. Max Fierty is about to lose his family's perpetual device shop to some sinister newcomers. Can Max and his friends untangle secrets and seaweed to save the Fierty legacy and the town? And then Twin Sisters Livingston and the Mystery at Madame Molyneux's by Mary Knight. This cover is so beautiful. A mystery, a school. Twin sisters Maddie and Joe Livingston have spent their lives traveling the world with their famous archaeologist parents. But when the Livingstons' work takes them on a mysterious year-long excavation in Siberia, much too dangerous for two 12-year-old girls, Maddie and Joe are whisked off to a castle in Switzerland where they find themselves piecing together a mystery of their own. Madame Molyneux's School for Girls is filled with interesting students and professors from all over Europe, but it doesn't take long for the girls to figure out that this is no ordinary boarding school. Bizarre animals, hidden tapestries, secret tunnels, and a long list of unanswered questions keeps Maddie, Joe, and their new friends searching for clues around every corner. Where is that snotty Rosemary Byron going when she sneaks out of her dormitory at night? What secret is their beloved headmistress trying to protect? Who is concealing treasures in the unlikeliest of hiding places? The girls must put all these strange pieces together to discover the staggering truth and to save their school before Madame Molyneux closes its doors for good. And then two books. I don't know if it's just going to stay a duology or what, but they were so amazingly priced. The first book was like $3 and the other one was like $6. So, The Children of the Apple by Jeremy Morin. It's so beautiful. The second book is Voyage of the Ice Runner. There's a synopsis on the back of book 2, but not back book 1, so let me see if it's in here. No, so can't read the synopsis, but if it looks something like you would like, then look it up. But they sounded amazing when I found them. Series I've been wanting forever. I don't know if there'll be more, but so far there's 3 books. Wednesday Weeks series. Wednesday Weeks in the Tower of Shadows by Dennis Knight and Christy Byrne. Book 2, Wednesday Weeks in the Crown of Destiny. And then Wednesday Weeks in the Dungeon of Fire. In a world of magic, can science save the day? Wednesday Elizabeth Weeks never wanted to be a sorcerer's apprentice. She'd rather study science than magic. But when her cloak-wearing, staff-wielding grandpa is captured by a power-hungry Goblin King, Wednesday must find a way to embrace her magical heritage and rescue him from the dreaded Tower of Shadows. Lucky for Wednesday, she's not alone. Her best friend Alfie is a prime number fan and robotics expert who's all in on Wednesday's epic plan involving parallel universes, swords of power, and a wisecracking talking skull. Okay, now these are the ones I got in the sale, and some of them might have been in anticipated release videos, but I don't remember how long ago they were, and so I'm just gonna read the synopsis. Undercover Latina by Aya D. Leon. 14-year-old Andrea Hernandez Badaquin hails from a family of spies working for the Factory, an international organization dedicated to protecting people of color. Andrea has dreamed about getting her first solo mission, but she never imagined that she would have to straighten her hair and go undercover as a white girl to befriend the estranged son of a dangerous white supremacist. In order to gain the boy's trust, Andrea finds herself doing a deep dive into the world of comic books and fantasy gaming, all while trying to keep her true identity a secret from her target's adorable Latina best friend. Can Andrea keep her head, her geek cred, and her code switching on track to trap a terrorist? So intrigued by that. And then A Duet for Home by Karina Yan Glasser, who's also the author of the Vanderbeekers. At first, June doesn't understand. Is their new home really a homeless shelter? Then she is told she can't even bring her cherished Viola inside. How could she have ended up with such terrible luck to land at Huey House? Tyrell has been at Huey House for 3 years, though, and shows June the good things about living there. Friendship, hot meals, and a classical musician whose practice they can hear through the windows. But just as June begins to see how Huey House can be the right place for her family, a new government policy begins to push families out before they're ready. Do June and Tyrell have what it takes to save their home? Sounds like such a great read. Important to read. And Nowhere Better Than Here by Sarah Guillory. For 13-year-old Gillian Robichaud, 3 things are sacred. Bayou sunsets, her grandmother Nani's stories, and the coastal Louisiana town of Boonton that she calls home. When the worst flood in the century hits, Julian and her community band together as they always do, but this time the damage may simply be too great. After her school is padlocked and the bridges into town are condemned, Julian must face the reality that she could lose the only home she's ever had. But even when all hope seems lost, Julian is determined to keep Boonton and its indomitable spirit alive. With the help of friends new and old, a lovable golden retriever, and Nani's storytelling wisdom, Julian does just that in this timely and heartfelt tale of family survival and hope. And then Sweet and Sour by Debbie Machiko Florence. And I remember seeing this before, and I thought it was YA just because of the cover. But if you look closer, they're not. They're middle-aged. They're middle grade age. So, and then I read the synopsis, and I was so excited. It sounds great. Revenge is sweet. For as long as she can remember, Maya spent every summer in Mystic, Connecticut visiting family friends, and hanging out with her best friend since birth, Zach Koyama, was always her favorite part. Then 2 summers ago, everything changed. Zach humiliated Maya, proving he wasn't a friend at all. So when Zach's family moved to Japan, Maya felt relieved. No more summers together, no more heartache. But this year, the Koyamas have returned, and the family vacation is back on. And if Maya is to spend the summer around Zach, the least she can do is wipe away the memory of his betrayal by coming up with a perfect plan for revenge. Only Zach isn't the boy he used to be, and Maya's memories of their last fateful summer aren't the whole truth of what happened between them. But how can she forgive Zach for a betrayal she'll never forget? Another great sounding summer story for sure. And then New Kids and Underdogs by Margaret Finnegan. So cute. Robin Kellen has been the new kid 6 times. She's practically an expert on the subject and has developed foolproof rules to help her get by. Blend in and don't go looking for trouble and move on. Unfortunately, Robin's mom has a rule too. Robin must do an after-school activity. When Robin discovers a dog agility class, she thinks she's found the perfect thing. But then her dogs, Sunday and Fudge, are rejected from the class. Sunday won't do anything without Fudge, who is deaf and blind, and the instructor refuses to change the rules to fit their needs. Luckily, the instructor's grandson, Nestor, a legend in Robin's new school, offers Robin a deal. If she helps him with math, he'll train Sunday and Fudge. Problem is, Robin isn't so great at math herself, so she reluctantly recruits the class outcast, Alejandro, to help. Suddenly, Robin finds herself surrounded by people who do anything but blend in, and sticking to her rules becomes harder than ever. But as Robin learns how to adapt the rules of agility for Sunday and Fudge, she will find that some rules are worth breaking altogether. And The Secret of Serendipity is the name of the series, and The Haunting is this book, Catherine Lasky, and the next one comes out very soon. Deep in the wilds of Scotland, land of ancient warrior kings and myths, now is the 21st century, there is a deep secret. The secret is a colony of beavers, a species that is craved for their fur pelts, but vilified for what humans consider the destruction of their land. No beaver had ever been spotted in Scotland or England for over 500 years until the young beaver kit Donwaddle is sighted. Donwaddle's fight was driven by the presence of a ghostly figure, a figure of a young girl who is almost 1,000 years old. He is destined to be destroyed for revealing the hidden colony. However, his best friend, Loxley, is determined to save him. But will this ancient colony be obliterated? This just sounds incredible. And then Honey and Me by Mira Draven. Mila and Honey have been best friends since forever. Mila envies Honey's confidence, her charisma, and her big chaotic family, especially when they provide a welcome escape from Mila's own small family and quiet house. In their close-knit Jewish community, the two girls do everything together, from delivering meals to an ill-tempered elderly neighbor to shopping at a local thrift store, celebrating the holidays, and going to their first bat mitzvahs while studying for their own. So when Honey joins Mila's school for 6th grade, why is it not as great as Mila expected? Can their friendship survive all the ups and downs the year has in store for them? And will Mila ever find the courage to step out of Honey's shadow into her own spotlight? Sounds so cool. And then Roll for Initiative by Amy Fermano. Didn't really know about this one, but I've come to realize I do like Dungeons and Dragons or game books, so even though I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. No one ever said growing up would be easy, but did they mention it would be full of dragons and dice? Riley Henderson has always relied on her other brother, Devin. With their single mom working around the clock, Devin was the one who drove her to school, made her dinner, helped her finish her homework, and did her laundry. But now Devin's away at college, studying at the prestigious gaming program in California, while she's still at home in Florida. Thankfully, Riley's new neighbor, Lucy, gives Riley no choice but to get over her shyness and fear of rejection and to become friends. The best part is, they both have a love of Dungeons and Dragons. When Lucy suggests she run a campaign, Riley is a little nervous, because Devin has always been the dungeon master when they played together. To her surprise, her first time goes really well. So well, in fact, that soon the friends add their neighbors, Hannah and Jen, to their adventuring party. After a while, Riley discovers not only that she can function without Devin, but that... I've never seen a synopsis continue back to the back flap. But that she kind of likes her independence. When he suddenly returns home, though, it's clear that since he can't figure out his own life, he's willing to live Riley's for her. Now she must decide how to prove to Devin that she's got this and to convince him to go back to California to follow his dreams. It's time to roll for initiative. And Crazy Land by Moor. This looks so creepy and amazing. Nathan has always thought Crazyland Kids' indoor play place is a little spooky, with its endless plastic tunnels and the spider-stomping arcade game and the giant lady with big eyes. But what was once just spooky becomes downright terrifying when kids start to go missing. Turns out there's another world beneath Crazyland's ball pit, a world where the arcade games come to life, and Nathan is going to be the next kid sucked under. Alright, the rest were in anticipated release video, whether it be January or February, so I'm not going to read the synopsis. I'm just going to show you what I got and if it was in the sale. The Villains Academy by Ryan Hammond. It's getting kind of long, so I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to say much about these. The Day We Save the Future by Ashley and Jordan Banjo. Wooden Cloak by Dawn Ford. Book 1 and Exit 13, The Whispering Pines by James Preller. But it's like normal, but it's got a lot of... The Tiger Who Sleeps Under My Chair by Hannah Foley. Wilder by Penny Trimes. The Sleeping Stone by Beatrice Walbeck. And Winston Chu versus the Whimsies by Stacey Lee. This was included in the sale. Juniper Harvey and the Vanishing Kingdom by Nina Varela. This is also included in the sale. Simon Sorta Says by Aaron Bell. So beautiful. The Talent Thief by Mike Thayer. This was also included in the sale. I loved his other books. I'm so excited to read this one. Also included this in the sale, The Grace of Wild Things by Heather Fawcett. And I love The School Between Winter and Fairyland by this author, so I'm very excited to read this. The Swifts, A Dictionary of Scoundrels by Beth Lincoln. I got the US and the UK edition. The US edition was included in the sale. They're both illustrated by Claire Powell, and they're just beautiful. This is the UK edition. Alright, that's it for this video. See any that you're excited about? Have you read any already? Did you like them? Did you not? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you would like to subscribe, I would love that if you'd like to. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.